when we take on this task of becoming more, God is going to bring a calmness and a serenity to you. He won't just allow you to fade away and, get so worked up to where you destroy yourself. But there's workarounds to everything. If you have faith, there's room. There's room, but you believe you're not ready. You believe you're not good enough. So you make these excuses like, oh, I don't have the time. Oh, I don't have this. I don't have that. That's lack and limitation that you have put on yourself, not your circumstances. You see that? When you embrace failure, failure is not failure no more. Failure is lessons. Failure are building blocks. But when you're scared to fail, what do? You fail all the time. A good life is the enemy to a great life. Peace, YouTube family. We back here again with another video. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. And I'm not going to waste no more of y'all time. Today's video is going to be a breakdown of my week 5 newsletter titled A Good Life is the Enemy to a Great Life. And it's going to be a full breakdown. Let's get into it. The newsletter starts off like this. The comfort and safety of a good life locks the door to a life of abundance and true prosperity. So Jesus said to them, because of your unbelief, for assuredly I say to you, if you have faith as a mustard seed, you will say this to the mountain, move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you. Matthew 17:20. So let's unpack that real quick. In order to expand your reality, you must expand your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is the bubble in which you allow yourself to play in, to have routine in. So it's your reality. Your reality may be a plumber. Your reality may be a college student, right? But you want to become more. You want to become a business owner. You want to become an investor. You want to become an architect, whatever. So you have to expand your reality. You have to bring in more knowledge. You have to see things in a broader perspective. You have to see further than where you already are. And that's uncomfortable, right? It can be scary. It's uncertain, right? Because you're looking into the future. You're looking into what is to come. If you can't see it first from where you are right now, then you won't be able to achieve it. This quote from scripture is so profound because only if you had just a little bit of conviction, a little bit of faith, you'll be able to get anywhere you wanted to go. You'll be able to manifest anything you wanted to manifest, right? That just shows you how it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much to expand your reality. It doesn't take a complete shift in your life in an instant. It just takes a little faith, a little conviction. He said, if you have the faith as a mustard seed, and later on in the quote, it says, nothing will be impossible for you. Let's move along. We hate to take risks and would rather play it safe. But that safe approach creates a ceiling on our growth and evolution. It reveals to God how little faith we have in ourselves. Why would God grant success and prosperity to someone who has so little faith? He wouldn't. Now, also, I want to offer a book recommendation if you guys want to get more context or an expansion on expanding your comfort zone and living at the edge of your comfort zone. And that book is The Ways of the Superior Man by David Dita, a great read. It goes more in depth on that. So I recommend y'all read that book. Most of the world, you could say 99%, you could say 90%, play it safe, right? They don't want to risk too much. And that's reasonable. We're humans, right? We don't want to take on more than we can chew. But when you play it safe to the extent that you stop yourself from doing things that you know will benefit you or will get you to your dreams, a lot of people stop short of their dreams and aspirations because they fear it being too much for them, too much responsibility, too much accountability. And that puts a ceiling on your growth. So you can only grow within this box. You can't get no higher than that, and you can't expand past that. And when we take this safe approach, like, oh, I'm not going to invest, it's too risky. I'm not going to take the extra time that I have off of work to learn this new skill or to learn this trade because that's too much on my plate. I can't do that right now. I need my relaxed time. I need my rest and whatsoever and whatsoever. When we do things like this, it reveals to God how little faith we have in ourselves. If we had faith in ourselves, there wouldn't be no such thing as the safe route, right? It wouldn't even be no such thing as risk because we have faith in ourselves that whatever we put our mind to, we're going to do or we're going to accomplish. So God is not going to grant you success and prosperity that you're not qualified for. He's not going to give you more if you're not willing to become more, and vice versa. If you want to become more and you are becoming more, you're going to get more in return. Another quote from scripture. And he said unto them, why are ye so fearful, O ye of little faith? Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. This is so powerful. I notice, like, as I'm reading these books and I'm observing other fields of study, everything always returns back to God. Everything, like whatever you thinking of, whatever study from science to math to ancient history, whatever it is, it all leads back to God. And it's just when you get closer to God and you start to become one with God, you gain a lot more peace in your life. You gain a lot more patience. Things don't shake you up as they would before. That's why it's so important for you to get grounded and for you to find peace in a higher power. Because even though you may not be capable of it physically in the 3D world, a higher power, the creator, is capable of it, right? The one consciousness, the one who knows everything and knows all things everywhere at the same time. That's so powerful when we can tap into that, because when things come about, when we embracing this uncertainty, when we're trying to expand our reality, right? It takes the edge off of being uncomfortable. Because what do we have to fear? We're backed by a higher power. We're backed by something that is all powerful, that has created this world that we live in. What is there to doubt? What is there to be scared of? And this process of expanding, it's a scary process. Sometimes it may seem overwhelming, sometimes, but that's because you're not used to it. Once you get used to it, it's nothing. It's nothing. That, like a lot of people say, when you make your first $10,000, that's the hardest part. Once you make that, it's off to the races, right? Because you gotten over that rites of passage almost. And it's just this scripture is just a reminder that when we take on this task of becoming more, God is going to bring a calmness and a serenity to you. He won't just allow you to fade away and, get so worked up to where you destroy yourself. So the key is always to get a better relationship with God in anything you do and whatever you're looking forward to and whatever you're trying to do for your life. A personal story I'm going to share, which I believe a lot of you all could relate to. All my life, my family accepted the short end of the stick. Either they were afraid to lose what they had or they were afraid to gain more. This fear of poverty or responsibility is common across many families, and it is from this fear that we manifest lack and limitation in our lives. We constantly express how we can't afford things or how something valuable is too expensive. Why is this always the problem? Because we fear becoming more than we already are. As far as the black community, for example, the black community, I think they say it has a $3 trillion spending power, right? So it's not that we don't have money. We may be in these poor conditions, but it's not because of the money. It's because of the mindset. It's because of our perspective on things. We may look at something that's very beneficial, that could bring great value to us, but it's overpriced in our perspective. So since it's overpriced, I'm not gonna buy that. That's too expensive. You have the money, you know it's good, but you're scared that if you start buying things that's deemed expensive in your head, you're gonna go broke soon, right? And we have this fear of losing out on what we have. And it is very possible to lose everything that you have. But if you change your perspective that you're not what you have, you are you. So if you spend this on something that's expensive and valuable, oh, you can make that back tenfold, right? But you have to know that inside. You have to have that conviction about yourself. Man, it ain't nothing. That's just money. Most people don't have that attitude, right? The black community definitely don't got that attitude. That's why we're so far behind. And this fear of becoming more, like we fear the responsibility that, oh, we got to take on more to our plate, right? But it's not going to be more on your plate because you have to become more in order to gain this expanded reality and accept this responsibility. But this responsibility, you're qualified for because you've expanded yourself. Now, when you try to put this responsibility or try to force this reality on the version of yourself that can't handle this responsibility, then that's different, right? That's why we have to qualify ourselves for these things that we want. We can't be a millionaire if we don't have the mindset of a millionaire. We can't be a millionaire if we don't have the habits of a millionaire. And once we have those, managing $1 million becomes a lot more easier because we're qualified for it. Some things we usually say. We say things like, I can't do this. I don't have the time. That's not really me. I can't take that risk right now. I just need to be stable and secure. That's all that matters. I don't have time for that. I've got bills to pay. These thoughts reinforce limitation, and what we think continues to manifest. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand people are in certain situations to where they only have a little bit of room in order to color outside the box, right? Some people don't have that much time to invest into their futures and into business, into investing, into getting yourself together, right? But there's workarounds to everything. If you have faith, there's room. There's room, but you believe you're not ready. You believe you're not good enough. So you make these excuses like, oh, I don't have the time. Oh, I don't have this. I don't have that. That's lack and limitation that you have put on yourself, not your circumstances. A quote from the book of The Way of the Superior Man, page 29. Your insecurity may cause you to doubt yourself. And so you take the easy way, not even approaching your real edge or your real gift. Alternatively, your insecurity may lead you to push, 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 seeking to become victorious over your own sense of lack. Both approaches avoid your actual condition in the moment, which is often fear. If you are stressfully avoiding your fear, you cannot relax into fearlessness. I love how David Dita put this in his book about how your insecurity can lead you to doubt yourself, but you can take two routes. Some people take the easy approach and get so scared of becoming more that they just stop right there, and that's where their growth stops. And some people have insecurities and doubt themselves so much that they want to overcompensate and push, push, push to outrun that fear. That's so powerful because even though two people have taken two different routes, you still have the same sense of lack and limitation, right? You're still scared to face the reality of it all. And until you get over that fear, you'll never be able to change your reality or expand your reality. He says both approaches avoid your actual condition in the moment, which is often fear. If you are stressfully avoiding fear, you cannot relax into fearlessness. That's so powerful. Because if you want to expand your reality, you have to be fearless. If you want to improve yourself, you have to be fearless, right? Because people make it seem like such a pretty glorious process. And on the grand scheme of things, it's very beneficial for you. But people not going to tell you you have to deal with hate. You have to deal with dislike. You have to deal with criticism, right? You have to deal with cutting people off that's not aligned with what you're doing. You have to deal with all sorts of things that's going to try to stop you and bring you back to this old version of yourself, this old frequency. But you have to address that also. And when you address that and you face the fact that this journey is not going to be pretty, and you're going to gain criticism, you're going to gain disdain for you trying to improve yourself, which is crazy. But that's just how it is. But once you acknowledge that, you can now be stress-free in your fearlessness. Oh, they can get cut off. I'm not tripping, right? I know God is going to put more people in my life that's aligned with what I'm doing. A wise brother of mine once told me, everyone feels fear. Everyone feels fear, even the strongest and toughest among us. But it's what we do with that fear that makes the difference. It's two ways, right? We can let that fear stop us and hold us back, or we can let that fear propel us forward, right? People think these, like Mike Tyson and these dudes that give off this super dangerous persona, that they don't feel fear. No, it's the fact that they feel fear are the reasons they perform the way they perform, right? Because they choose to let fear propel them forward. They choose not to back down from fear. And that's the route you must take if you want to expand your reality. It's always about how you feel and how you think about yourself, right? We come up with all of these lies in our head, like, oh, they looking at me like this, or like we put assumptions on how people are looking and viewing us, when really that's just stemming from our own insecurities deep within that we're projecting out into our mind, and eventually that projects into our physical reality. So when we have those thoughts of doubt and fear, and we allow it to crumble us up, what is it going to do when it comes around into the physical world? It's going to crumble you up. You're going to fail because you were scared to fail. You see that? When you embrace failure, failure is not failure no more. Failure is lessons. Failure are building blocks. But when you're scared to fail, what do? You fail all the time. Just like all of my newsletters, I have a process that I've come up with that you can take that I believe will help you on your journey and will help you improve. 1, acknowledge that your lack isn't due to external circumstances. It's rooted in insecurity. 2, write a list of 5 ways you can become more. Examples: apply for a higher position, grow your investment portfolio, read more, etc. 3, establish a deeper connection with Source. It's key. When you pray throughout the day, express gratitude for the abundance you already possess, even if it hasn't shown up yet. 4, visualize your abundant self. How does that version of you feel? What does their day look like? Emulate them. These things can truly help you expand your reality, but you have to put them into practice. If you're willing to take risks, everything you desire will be speeding its way to you. Accept that you're already there. Accept that you're already abundant, that you've already become successful. You just haven't walked across the bridge yet. And the journey will become less stressful. And there will be a peace knowing that I just have to deal with the path to get there, but I'm already there. So what is there to be scared about? What is there to worry about? Everything is working towards my destination. And that's it for this video. Peace, YouTube.